Hello friends, welcome on. We are live, coming to you live from Mexico in Puerto Vallarta with this mimosa. I hope that you can see me and hear me okay. If you are on live, say hello, let me know that you are here. Would love to know where you are listening in from. I'm just gonna refresh my page here so I can see if you are asking questions or commenting and you can participate. Hello, husband. So this is the first live call in the Mom and Baby Bootcamp Revamp course. And we're gonna be talking all about crunches and planks and are they safe for the postnatal fitness client. So my understanding and my use of them is changing a lot, so much over the last, I would say even the last 2 years. And so I'm gonna tell you kind of my personal preference on them now at this time, and let you know where I think maybe I'm going with them in my workout programming and such. So, hey Christine, nice to see you. Perfect. So again, if you're jumping on, you can comment right in the post below or in the comment section below this video and I can see if you have any questions. Okay, cool. Thank you, Randy. Hey Maggie, excellent. Perfect, I think that we're good. All right, so you guys, I just jumped out of a plane from 13,000 feet. We just went skydiving with my friend Neil for the first time ever. It was amazing and crazy. And we just got back at 11:30. It's noon now, so got right into mom mode first, and then husband took over, and now we are here on Facebook. So it has been a morning. All right, so let's get right into it. Any questions or comments as we're going along, please do post them in. Nice to be able to chat back and forth and not me just yelling at my phone. If you hear toddlers in the background, just know that they're fine. There's 2 toddlers with us right now. One should be napping, mine should be napping, but you might hear the other little guy. Just a normal day in the life. I'm sure a lot of you can understand that. Okay, cool. See lots of you jumping on now. All right, so bootcamp revamp. This is the first live call of 3. I'm gonna be on live the next 2 weeks at this same time as well, talking about different topics on those occasions. Today we are going into crunches and planks. I love seeing a few of my pelvic floor physiotherapist colleagues jumping on. That's amazing. I might refer to you and use you doing this as well. Hey Tracy, that's you I'm talking about. So if you have anything, Anita, I see you on too. Please do jump in and let me know if you have anything to add because I value your opinion and respect it fully. So please do let me know if you have other thoughts about this as we're going through. So 5 different things that I want to chat with you about today, maybe 6 as we're going through the notes. These are gonna be our big categories. Hey Anita, on things that we are talking about in terms of crunches and planks. So I think what is most important to know as we are getting into this discussion is that crunches and planks are not off limits for every single body that has had a baby. They're not off limits for everyone. We're gonna talk about how they might be programmed into workouts, why they might be used, but know, first of all, as we're going into this discussion today, that I do not think that crunches and planks, I'm talking specifically about front planks in this scenario, I do not think that they are off limits for every postpartum body, okay? So they can work for some bodies. They can work for lots of different bodies. I think it's really key how we teach the technique, alignment, breathing around them, how they are programmed into a workout. I think it's very important on why we are using them and we know the understanding behind why we're using them. They are not just thrown into workouts with no purpose, but it's so individual to the client. For those of you that are working in person with clients, it's incredible. You have the ability to see them doing things. You have the ability to touch their body, to touch the abdominal wall when they are in certain positions. So I'm also coming at this from a place of working online. All my clients are distance-based, so my programming is likely going to be different than yours if you're working in person with personal training or fitness clients. Again, all my work is done via distance coaching, distance training, programs that I write. Luckily, I have the ability to have lots of back and forth conversation with my clients, but it's gonna be different depending on how you are actually coaching, the logistics of the coaching that you are doing. So please, let's keep that in mind too as we go through. So bottom line, crunches and planks, not off limits for any bodies. We know that they are going to be just fine in those positions, and some people may not be just fine in those positions either. This is why I love to work with pelvic floor physiotherapists around the world who I can refer out to, get them to get their hands on their body so they can come back and tell me what they were feeling and they were sensing. All right, so let's keep moving on here. One big thing that I think is so key is understanding why we would include crunches and planks in a workout. So why are they there? Why are you wanting the client to be doing that exercise? Is it because they need to be able to be strong in those positions? They need to understand how to crunch well or sit up well or hold their body in a straight plank position? They need that in their life. One point I will also make, I don't think that function is everything. I don't think every exercise needs to be functional. You will see lots of exercises in my clients' programs that are there because it makes them feel better. It means that they get less low back pain. It means that they like the way their muscles look when they train that exercise. So the things I'm thinking of maybe are banded clamshells or bicep curls or tricep extensions, things like that. Yes, those exercises have their purpose in terms of physical function, but a lot of people just like them because they might like the burn associated with doing those exercises, or they might think that their glutes are going to gain mass, or their hips feel more stable, or they have less back pain after they do them. So function, having that be the answer of why we are doing an exercise or why we're not doing an exercise, I don't think is everything. Tracy says, totally agree, there's a difference between mass online coaching, being able to see people one-on-one. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's a really important piece of the conversation for any exercise, for any type of fitness coaching discussion we're going to have. I want to know how the fitness coaching is actually being done. So my programming that I do online might be more conservative than if I was working with bodies in person. I feel a very, very strong sense of responsibility to keep my programming safe, but in exercises that are going to be simple to perform in the technique. Hey Lucy, yeah, I'm so glad you made it today. So the exercise must be, they must be able to have simple cues, the movement simple enough that they are going to be able to do it well enough. So it's not a circus act that's going on, and I don't think crunches and planks are often circus acts either. But I'm just saying that I want to keep people in positions that I am confident and comfortable with, and that I think they will be confident and comfortable in too, because that's going to make them successful. Sip of mimosa, hang on. Okay. All right, so I think one key point in thinking about this as well, again, talking about why we might include crunches or planks. Does the client love to do crunches and planks? Do they really, really want to be able to get good function back in the core and pelvic floor and be able to do them? That's a good enough reason for a lot of people. I think for so long I was trying to push people out of doing crunches and planks because I just said they're stupid, there's no use for them, whatever it might be. Some people actually enjoy them. A lot of my clients just really don't. I'm a person that doesn't really enjoy doing lots of, or any targeted core ab training myself. I just don't really like how it feels. It's not really that fun for me. I don't have a lot of time, which we'll get to either in workouts, so I tend to leave them out a lot of the time. But if the client really loves them, then let's get them back, if possible, to doing those movements that they really love to do. Is it because the client needs to do the crunches and planks for performance reasons? That might be a case, absolutely. Maybe they are performing in a sport. Maybe the performance is simply that they need to be able to sit up quickly to go race to their baby that's about to jump off the couch. That would be me. So it just depends on the situation. So having it be, again, a functional exercise for daily life or performance is a reason that we might include them as well. Does the client think that they should be doing them to have a strong core? Do they think that crunches I think I just lost you for a minute. Apologies if the connection is a bit funny. Sometimes. Okay, I think we're good. Again, apologies if the connection comes. My internet connection is not great, so just refresh if you need to. If this cuts out, I'll keep recording and I'll send it out to you, so you won't miss anything, even if we do lose it a bit today. So does the client think that they need to be doing crunches and planks to get their abs back, to get a strong core? Yeah, Tracy, also a good opportunity to educate clients who think they won't ever lose mummy tummy if they avoid crunches and planks. Absolutely, I think this is so key. And this is something that I talk about with my clients a lot too, is why do we want the belly to look a certain way? Why do we think the crunches and planks are going to get us to that place? And educating around that topic too. Super key. So mindset, physical, and all this conversation is surrounding fitness program for the postnatal client. So we need to address all of it. For me, with my clients and personally myself, crunches and planks might be used a little bit. The crunches for me is really just to teach someone how to do that movement properly in a way that doesn't create a whole lot of bulging pressure outside on their anterior or their front of the abdominal wall or downwards on the pelvic floor. So can they do that movement in their life well enough when they need to be able to do that? Perfect, check. Can they hold a plank? Can they create stability and tension in a front plank? We need to be able to do that because we're gonna progress to more difficult exercises. I don't think that we are in a position where we're planking a ton during the day. We might be in it for moments. Again, I find myself thinking, oh, that was kind of a plank movement when I go to do this in my daily life, when I go to, again, catch the child as they're falling off the couch, when we're playing on the floor, different times where that position might come into play. But we're going to progress to renegade rows, push-ups, other different exercises that are more advanced that I want to see if they can master the form in the plank position first before we build on. We'll get to how we would start programming these exercises into workouts. So what I've seen too is a lot of times trainers will feel the need to fill time in their workout space with a client. I was that trainer too for many years when I coached in person, hour-long sessions with a personal training client, especially who is postpartum. That's a long time to try to fit some exercises in. So sometimes trainers just feel the pressure that they have to fill the whole hour with exercise, with a workout, to make it seem for the client like it was worth it that they came to the gym. That's a conversation for another day too, but I don't think that crunches and planks need to be the exercises done at the end of the workout to fill time. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so I think, keep on chiming in here if you need to. I think that we've been concerned about crunches and planks from a diastasis recti and pelvic floor dysfunction perspective for a lot of time. Samantha, this is why I'm glad I can do your workouts in 20-30 minutes. Absolutely. That's something that is so key for my clients and for myself too. We have 20-30 minutes to work out. Are crunches and planks the biggest bang for the buck exercise, and the exercise that the client wants to spend the time on when they are so limited in the exercise or workout time that they have available? Absolutely a great discussion. So we're concerned about, hey Lauren, we're concerned about crunches and planks from a perspective of, is this going to hurt them in terms of their diastasis recti or pelvic floor dysfunction? So is it going to make things worse? The idea or conversation around this typically has been that it's going to create too much intra-abdominal pressure, so pressure in their trunk, in their core. They're not going to be able to handle it well, and that pressure is going to have to go somewhere else instead of staying contained in the belly in that core canister. That it will bulge out the abdominal wall, that it will bulge down on the pelvic organs. This has typically been the concern or the conversation around crunches and planks for postnatal bodies. There's also the conversation with Stu McGill on actual spinal and back health and why crunches might not be appropriate for the spine itself. We're not going to get to that today, but a fantastic conversation as well. So here's what some of the research says about crunches. actually that the amount of intra-abdominal pressure created by doing curl-ups or crunches, and I'm not talking about a full sit-up here, just to be clear, maybe isn't that severe. Some bodies can handle that pressure extremely well. In some people, just going from stand to sit or sit to stand, they are going to create more intra-abdominal pressure by doing that task that they would do many, many times during the day, as opposed to doing a crunch. So that's interesting, isn't it? I don't know that if there's research that has measured the intra-abdominal pressure doing planks. If you know that research, I would love to see it, and please do comment if you have it. I was doing a quick search and I couldn't find anything myself. But in terms of crunches and curl-ups, maybe the intra-abdominal pressure can be handled very well by lots of different bodies. What is extremely important to know is that there is huge variability in the intra-abdominal pressure created doing that movement. So some people can handle it very well, some people not so well. If we studied literally any exercise that I was giving my clients, it would be the same. The difference in intra-abdominal pressure would vary significantly. We would have low end, way up to high end. So just knowing that the individual variability is key in this too. Some bodies, good, some bodies, not so good. Apply that lesson to every exercise we could ever do too. Interesting work from Diane Lee and Paul Hodges recently on curl-ups and diastasis recti and how they affect the linea alba or the connective tissue. So they tested how just doing an automatic curl-up, not thinking, do a curl-up, let's see what the linea alba does, versus let's connect to the core and pelvic floor or do a pre-activation of the transverse abdominis and then see what happens to the linea alba. And they found that there was less distortion of the linea alba when there was that core plus floor connection and then the movement. So that's really interesting too. So just things to be aware of that will affect how we program, cue, and teach crunches if they are being done in our workouts. Mimosa break, friends. Okay, let's keep going. So I just want to read you a quick bit from that study with Diane and Paul. The clinical implication is that reduced interrecti distance narrowing by transverse contraction, which has been discouraged, may positively impact abdominal mechanics. So that's interesting stuff, because maybe the curl up with a pre-contraction of the transverse is actually a good thing for the diastasis. We don't know. There's going to be more research and we're going to find out a whole lot more. Jenny, how would I know if it's helping or hurting me? I haven't been able to see a pelvic floor physiotherapist. So Jenny, I would just be interested, and I know you have had, I know you're going through rehab and recovery postnatally too from your twins. So here's what I would do. I would have you practice, say, let's talk about a plank from an inclined position, and we would get you to see just how you feel there. Do you feel supported in the abdominal wall? Do you feel any bulging in your perineum, or maybe that you have to go pee? Do those sensations come up? Do you have any pain in your C-section scar? What's happening? Any low back issues? Your pelvic pain is ramped up? Let's just see what's happening. Take some notes. If anything was happening, and I should have mentioned too, if you could have someone feel along your linea alba to see if there's tautness there, or to see maybe if it's doming out, that's a great thing too. And then we would just see what is happening and cue and coach from there. We would try to keep you in that position and see if we could use some cues and coaching techniques to keep you doing that position. Breathing, technique, alignment, and we would go from there. I hope that helps. Yeah, seeing a pelvic floor physiotherapist is really incredible, especially if they can assess internally while you might be doing certain exercises. That's key. All right, so big thing to understand, intra-abdominal pressure might be handled very well in crunch or curl up exercises. Randy's saying I'm glitchy. I hope I'm not too glitchy, but again, I'll email it out tomorrow morning if you are missing it. Okay, good, Jenny. What was I saying? Individual variability in terms of the intra-abdominal pressure. So the studies suggest that bodies react so differently to the amount of pressure created for certain activities. This helps us in so many ways because we know that the variability of intra-abdominal pressure, some women might be unnecessarily being restricted from doing exercises that would be healthy for their body. But for some, they're not going to be able to handle these exercises very well right now. That doesn't mean forever. This might just mean right now before we get some hands on the body, some coaching, some tweaking being done. So again, we test, we tweak, and we keep going. All right, so how would you program crunches and planks into workouts? Here's what I do. At this time, crunches are not a staple in my workout programming. They are done so we can teach people how to do these exercises appropriately. We just took some photos last week of crunch positions, and there are going to be cues going along with that. So that's going to be an upcoming blog. What does a crunch or a curl up look like? How might we cue that to be done well so we don't feel that bulginess in the belly or the pelvic floor? In terms of planks, we start in short reps and sets. So Okay, I think we're back. So sorry for the interruption. Our Mexican internet connection is not so strong. Next week will be so much better when we're back home. So what I was saying was, and again, just another reminder, I will be sending this out via email in case you lost parts or had to get off along the way. Here's what I was saying about programming crunches and planks into a workout. At this time, we teach crunches from a perspective of, please know how to do this movement when you need to do it throughout your daily life. I would love to see more understanding, information, research being developed on why is the crunch good for our core function, for our abdominal wall. What specifically about the crunch is making that to be a good thing? Okay, we're back. I think we're on. In terms of the planks, I do use those sporadically in my workout programming for my clients into pregnancy and beyond, and some of my private clients. Hey Wanda, nice to see you here. But we do them in short sets, short reps with multiple sets. So they might start with hold for 5 to 10 seconds in an inclined front plank position. So I like to do that wherever they can in their house if they're working out at home. If they have a gym available or if they have a bench at home, let's get them onto the bench. In a front plank position, elbows down. I like the hands straight out, which we can talk about that another time too. And then holding that full plank position with the arms raised. So rather than doing it from the knees on the floor, which is fine too, I just prefer it to be done in that position from an incline on the bench. So we hold for 5 to 10 seconds, breathing normally, and that's our focus, not breath holding. We're squeezing through the body, glutes, quads. We have tension through the back muscles. You're gonna feel tension through the abdominal wall immediately, right away, just from holding that position. They don't have to do anything to make their abs work harder. They just have to hold that position in good form and breathe normally throughout. So we do that, we hold for 5 to 10 seconds, we come down, rest, reset, go back up another 5 to 10. Maybe that's enough for them where they're at. Maybe they do 1 or 2 more sets in that position. So we do this, we build the endurance in the plank position, and we take it down to lower heights. Lucy says, I like to use the stairs. Perfect. So we start a little bit higher and we move lower. It says my connection is weak again. Sorry guys, I hope we're still on here. So with the crunches, one key piece of the puzzle we might add in if we're teaching clients how to do a crunch well is to exhale on exertion. So they might exhale, they might connect to their core and pelvic floor, and then they might lift the head and the shoulders off the floor. Same thing with a sit-up if you were to program those, which we're not talking about right now, but same situation might apply. All right, so here's what I want to know as I was saying. Why is it the crunch and the plank themselves that is helping the client? What is the mindset around that? Do they think that they need to be doing those exercises to get a flat belly? Do they think they need to be doing those exercises to create stability in their core, to get rid of their back pain, their pelvic pain, to heal their diastasis? Then we have more education to do around that, and we have more research to do too. So it's not a black and white answer. Crunches and planks can work for the postnatal fitness client. I don't use them extensively in my programming, but again, we teach how to crunch well, curl up well. We teach how to be in a plank position without pain, so we can advance that movement to something more difficult. I think that is it. Let me know if you have any more comments or questions right now. Again, I will take this whole video. You won't have the glitchy tech issues happening. It will be emailed out tomorrow to the bootcamp revamp email list. So you can stay on my Facebook page, go to the cover photo, the top photo right on my page, click that photo, and the link is there that you can sign up if you are not signed up already. This recording will be sent to you tomorrow morning, and you'll get all the information. If you have any more questions, please do let me know. You can comment on right now or just post a comment on this video. I'm gonna answer a couple questions in the email tomorrow that this video is being sent out with. So any questions that I didn't get to, they will be answered in the email only tomorrow. So be sure to comment if you have anything else that needs answering. All right, one more mimosa sip and then I think we're done. Sarah, yeah, thanks for being on. Thanks for staying with me through our weak Mexican internet connection here. All right, thank you, Christine. Thanks for being on. Hannah says, how do you differentiate between sit-ups and crunches? Because sit-ups are a more advanced variation. Yeah, they absolutely are. So the crunch or curl up would be lifting the head and maybe some of the shoulders off, and then a sit-up would be fully sitting up, which is an important movement for some moms to be able to do as well. So the research says that the intra-abdominal pressure created with a sit-up is far higher than what it would be created by a crunch or a curl up. Not to say that that movement can't be trained or taught either. Just know that it is different. If you want or need to progress to a sit-up, let's definitely train that crunch motion first and get really solid in that. Go to pelvic floor physio, absolutely, if possible, if they can, so we know what's happening with the abdominal wall, not just the linea alba, the whole abdominal wall, and also the pelvic floor too. Thanks for being on, Maggie. I love to see these familiar names. Anything else for now? I think that I will jump off. Keep posting your questions and then I'll answer them up in that email tomorrow morning. I will put the link in the comments below too, in case you just need a really quick place to get on that email list. All right, so I will see you all back here Wednesday next week, 1 week from today. We are going to be talking about a different topic, and then the week after that as well too. So next week we're going to be talking how we go from early postpartum to lifting heavier weights again. What does that process look like? And then the week after, we're gonna be talking about all about mindset in terms of body image and exercising surrounding the postnatal mom and how we support them through that journey. All right, thank you so much, friends, for being on, sticking with me. I appreciate your support as always. And I will chat with you tomorrow morning, send this recording to you in that email tomorrow. All right, have a good afternoon.